This is the video for asexual and sexual reproduction. Your learning target today is I can compare and contrast asexual and sexual reproduction. So asexual reproduction is a type of reproduction that does not involve two other cells joining together, which we also talk about the fusion of gametes. The offspring from asexual reproduction comes from a single parent cell. There are a number of types of asexual reproduction, such as fission, fragmentation, and budding. Oftentimes you see this in plants, some animal, fungi. Binary fission is this diagram here, where you have a single-celled organism that is copying the DNA and genetic material inside that one cell and creating two daughter cells. There is one parent cell, and the offspring are identical. Less energy is required or expended during this process compared to sexual reproduction. And there is less genetic diversity as a result because the offspring is identical. Examples that I didn't already mention would be bacteria, coral, and sea stars. Sexual reproduction begins with the sperm and egg cell, and it is produced from a process called meiosis. In sexual reproduction, you have half of the DNA from the father and half the DNA from the mother, which will produce a fertilized egg with the full amount of chromosomes that the organism should have. There's two different parents, and this results in more genetic diversity within a population. More energy and resources are required for sexual reproduction, but the benefit is that there is more genetic diversity. Examples are humans, dogs, and fish. So looking at this diagram, you want to go back and double check your notes. We will do a check-in at the end of the video as well, but that the difference between asexual and sexual reproduction, did you catch the benefits to each type? Did you catch the disadvantage for each type? Did you write down examples? If not, pause the video, go back and rewatch that first part of this video and make sure that you've written down advantages, disadvantages, and examples. So I mentioned very briefly in the first part of the video, chromosomes. Now this is also from your vocabulary terms. You should be able to tell me that it is a large bundle of DNA. So chromosomes are these thread-like structures located inside the nucleus of the animal and plant cell. Each chromosome is made up of protein and that single molecule of DNA. They are passed from parents to offsprings, and they contain the specific information that makes each living creature unique. Now humans have 46 chromosomes, and there's 23 in the sex cells, right? Because when you have the sperm from the male and the egg from a female, you want the total to equal 46, which means that those sex cells need to have 23 chromosomes, not 46, because you would have too much genetic information. So here's a karyotype that shows you the different chromosomes found in a human. So you notice they are numbered. We have up to 22, and then you have your X and a Y, which determines the gender. So there's 23 pairs for a total of 46 chromosomes. Now, how do cells divide? So cellular reproduction itself, I briefly mentioned meiosis in the first part of the video, and I'm going to compare that to mitosis. So cells divide and reproduce in two ways, mitosis and meiosis. Mitosis results in two identical daughter cells, whereas meiosis results in 4 different sex cells. Mitosis is a type of cell division that results in 2 daughter cells that have the same number of chromosomes as the parent, and this is for your typical ordinary tissue growth, so like skin cells, liver cells. Versus meiosis is a process where the single cell divides twice, and it produces 4 cells that have half of the genetic material as that original parent cell. These are your sex cells, which is the sperm in males and eggs in females. During meiosis, one cell divides twice to form 4 daughter cells. So you want to draw this diagram down in your notes. And then I want you to go back and double check again that you got the differences between asexual and sexual reproduction, which are listed here, so pause the video if you need. And that is your video for asexual and sexual reproduction.